All right. Good evening. It's that time of the week. It is Wednesday night, which means only one thing, guys. It is SEC After Dark. We are the three amigos tonight. Jake is expecting a child. Him and Cassidy are expecting a child to be on the way. So congratulations to the Thomas family. And we hope everything goes well. And we expect updates. Hopefully they are tuning in and listening. We expect updates from the, I guess you say the ER, the hospital, the
maternity ward. I don't know.
Yeah. And this would be the night that we have our person from Alabama that is not on the show.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Breaking news right before the show.
I know. It's that's just called terrible luck. So as far as the news goes, it's not terrible luck that they're having a baby. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah, no. So good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah, great job coinciding with Nick Saban's retirement. Jeez. What time?
Do you not expect news at all?
Yeah.
Jesus. Just
good grief. So selfish.
No clue for the news cycle. Holy.
You plan babies for July. Nothing happens in July. Except it ruins your beach body, but whatever. It's
a really good time. So, all right. Anyway, we are SEC After Dark, presented by DeadSoxy. If you want to support Ole Miss NIL, and you can go support through DeadSoxy. You can order you a pair of socks, or 7, or 10, or 14, or however many you want to order. You go to DeadSoxy.com. You can pick out any Ole Miss design. But if you don't want an Ole Miss design, you want a plain one, they have those as well in just about any color that you want. Crimson, cream, navy, purple, gold, red, whatever other color, green. They have them. Colors of the rainbow. You can get them in that sweet box that's beyond Steve's right shoulder. And it's great. It's a great deal. You can have your whole week lined up in socks just with DeadSoxy.com. So what you're going to do is go to DeadSoxy.com. The best thing to do is sign up for a membership. You get a 25% discount. That's a constant thing. You get free shipping on every order, and you also get a free gift. Who doesn't like free gifts, right? So go to DeadSoxy.com, sign up now, get that membership. Again, you get that 25% discount and free shipping. That's always a benefit. DeadSoxy, style your feet, and stay soxy, my friends.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody else know that it's time to get locked on pickles. Stewart's Cajun Pickles, that is, offering a wide variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots and asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years, and they have become the South's favorite pickle. These truly are the best pickles you'll ever have, a strong dill flavor with a Cajun punch and no over sour taste. This being small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh and local from the start, keeping the final pickle product extra crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at pickledstore.com, links in the description, or at your local Rouse's Market on the Gulf Coast or other local southern stores near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle.
Oh yeah, gotta love those, and you got to keep them refrigerated too. If you don't,
yes,
they're fantastic.
It
helps not dying.
If you don't want a tummy ache,
yeah, it helps. Yeah. So anyway, you guys are probably wondering why I'm clean shaven. Well, school's back in session, so I shave every day when we go back to school. When it goes to breaks, I let it grow a little bit, so you get the little shadow. But when we're in school, man, I just don't like the mess of the beard. I've done the beard since I was in like 4th grade, the facial hair. So I'm just like, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. But anyway, we are also presented by betonline.ag. Our lines all year for our picks were presented by betonline.ag, and we're still presented by betonline.ag. It's your number one source for all your sports wagering needs. If you want it, they have it. And you can have any bets you want, including online casinos. And, all you got to do is head to betonline.ag, enter the promo code Bleav, and you get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's the promo code Bleav, B-L-E-A-V, for a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag, it's where the game starts. Well,
Anything going on today?
not much. Just just a pretty standard day in January. Coaches moving around. Mike Vrabel got fired.
Yeah. Disappointing.
Got sort of fired. Artie Smith is he's gone. Oh, and Nick Saban is retiring.
Oh, the GOAT is gone.
God. I mean, we all expected this at some point, but I'm surprised. I'm shocked. I thought he would wait till he won another national championship.
Please let that happen. Please let that happen. Jay,
that's great.
Speak that into existence. But yeah,
Yes,
no, Nick Saban, the
yes.
GOAT. Now we haven't heard from the GOAT's mouth, but it's all but official that he is retiring. It's happening. Now let the speculation season begin on probably the biggest job in all of football.
Well, you've heard from the athletic director at Alabama. It's confirmed.
Oh,
Yeah, he said the next time you hear from the AD, it's going to be naming a new head football coach.
oh, okay.
So that's as official as it gets. So yeah, Nick
I would say
Saban
so.
is done.
I would say so. I would say so. So, but yeah, so Nick Saban, man, he did okay
Mhm.
at Alabama. He was fine. I was hoping he was
Yeah.
going to get. I was hoping he was going to get number 8. But what do you think is next for him? Do you think he's truly retired?
Yes, I think he is truly retired. I think he'll do some TV. I think you'll see him on ESPN next year. He might be the person that pseudo replaces Lee Corso on game day, to where he could be the analyst guy and he has basically the cachet to get everything done. I think Nick Saban's going to hang out, fly up from his mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, spend some time with Miss Terry, and he's going to enjoy being the GOAT because he gets 10 years or so to where he gets to go around and be the GOAT on TV, and they're just going to all bow at his feet. And that is what it is.
Travis, I would be able to tell you that, but I'm not so sure yet.
No, he's not going to Bama.
Not so sure.
Bama's not going to hire Lane. I'm not saying he's not interested in him because there's 2 types of football coaches. There's coaches that are interested in the Bama job, and then there's liars. But it comes down to it. I think Dan Lanning is going to be the first call. I think Kellen DeVore is going to be very high on the list. I think Mike Vrabel is going to be on the list. You're going to have a lot of people say no before Lane Kiffin even becomes an option.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are saying Kirby Smart's an option too. I don't think Kirby's going to leave for another college job if he leaves. I'm hearing him linked to like NFL openings possibly, but
the
Falcons more specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, he's either going to stay at Georgia or he's going to be in the NFL with either the Falcons or somewhere else. So I don't think that's going to now do anything. But I think what Alabama needs to do, here's the plan, because you need that bridge coach, right? So they should hire me as the bridge coach. I'll go 2 seasons and they can pay me a buyout. I'll save them money. They can just pay me $2 million for a buyout and I'll go away.
Good of you to jump on that grenade, man.
Can we call him Corey Perkins?
Somebody's got to do it. Okay. I'll jump on that grenade. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I'll do it.
It's seriously.
No.
Does anybody want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, my conspiracy theory is if Dan Lanning didn't know this was going on, he would be the coach at Texas A&M right now. But he knew that this was a possibility, and I think Dan Lanning is probably going to be the next coach at Alabama.
He should be.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely that would be the hire.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like what he's done at Oregon is awesome.
Mm.
He made Bo Nix into an actual quarterback. Like Bo Nix might get drafted in the first round. We're not. I mean, I think that's a mistake, but
yeah, I was gonna say probably not, but he did. Yeah, definitely.
No, he definitely will, but because of his production, it's still not a good. I'm not saying it's a good pick, but somebody will pick him.
Yeah, and
there's always somebody to do that stuff.
if you watch the show, if you're commenting on the show, put in where you're commenting from. We're interested about that. Dan Lanning Lane Kiffin is viewed, for better or for worse, from the boosters at Alabama as a Pete Carroll guy. Him and Steve Sarkisian both are viewed as Pete Carroll guys. Kirby Smart's tree, the Dan Lanning, the Glenn Schumann, those type people are viewed as Alabama, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart guys, and they are held in higher regard than the Pete Carroll two that might be at Texas or at Ole Miss.
You think Nick Saban and Pete Carroll are going to hang out in retirement?
I honestly don't know. I don't think there's two different people in the world than Pete Carroll and Nick Saban. Can you imagine that?
That does seem very odd.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
It would be. Although I don't know that Pete Carroll's out of a job completely. I think they moved him to like the front office. But
come on, he's going to be there twice a week.
Yeah. Well, what about Steve though? Do you think Sarkisian has a chance at this?
He has a chance. I think he has a chance.
I
don't think Dan Lanning's going to say
no. Okay. Let me say this. Every coach in the country, like I said, there's either interest in Alabama or they're liars. Alabama can hire whoever they want to for this job. Alabama could hire Kirby Smart away, and that's his alma mater. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying they could.
I don't know.
So, but
I don't know about that.
I compare this job to a tornado. And that's what this is. It's a tornado. Some coaching staff, some school is going to get their property completely wrecked.
Sharknado.
Yeah, it's just absolutely going to happen. But the damage path is not going to be that wide, and it's almost going to be bad luck is the one that takes your coach away. I think that Dan Lanning, I think that Kellen DeBoer, I think that those guys are going to be the first year. I think Mike Vrabel, the more I hear about it and more I hear his name, I think Alabama may try to run it back just like they did in 2006 with a coach that just got fired from the NFL or was about to get fired from the NFL. Run it back and try and create a new Nick Saban. It probably won't work.
But Nick Saban was a college guy before all that happened.
That doesn't matter. Not in their mind. In their mind, this is Alabama, and if you're a good coach, you're a good coach.
Does Vrabel have ties to Alabama, or you think they're going outside
he has ties to Bill Belichick, who Nick Saban also had ties to.
Yeah, Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. That's probably the coach that's the closest with Bill Belichick is Nick Saban, actually.
Yeah. I would be.
I'd
be shocked if he doesn't end up in the Patriots.
I think Vrabel's going to the Patriots. I think Belichick.
I do too. I think Dan Lanning is going to be the next coach at Alabama.
I do too.
Yeah.
I would say Lanning, DeBoer would be the top two, and if both of them balk, which I would be surprised if they did, especially Dan Lanning because he's all the way out in Oregon, and he wants to be back in the Southeast.
And would Oregon run it back and go hire Glenn Schumann as their head coach?
I mean, go back to the well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
I would. Go back to the well.
Same system intact. You can keep everything still going. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It sucks for Georgia.
That's the same thing. If you hire Dan Lanning, you're basically getting the Alabama system. So nothing really changes.
Yeah, you're just getting – I think you're getting a younger Kirby Smart is what you're getting with Dan Lanning.
Yeah, but you're not getting Kirby Smart. You're not getting Nick Saban. You're getting a copy of a copy.
Which is a pretty damn good copy.
Yeah, it's a good copy. But once you start Memorizing stuff over and over again, if you're my age, you know that when you make that mixtape and you start copying it over and over, by the time you record it over like that fourth or fifth time, the quality isn't quite the same.
Wouldn't yours be a mixed record?
No, you can't do a mixed record.
You can find
what are those things like that was made out of metal that had holes in them, like playing the piano music, the player pianos type stuff.
The viola?
Yeah, something like that.
Viola, I don't know. Is that what it is? Do you think Munkin gets a call? No. Munkin gets a call for an NFL job. Yeah, for sure.
See, Justin Bailey. I'm glad this didn't happen during the season for Ole Miss. It could have been a huge distraction like the Auburn job in 22. He's a Pascagoula, Mississippi. He's the Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles person.
Hey, Justin, welcome
in.
Pascagoula.
Yeah.
I need to get some more like carrots and stuff.
Yeah.
The other vegetables. I'm just Justin, I love you, but I'm just not a pickle guy. But I like the other stuff. I like the seasoning. I like the other stuff around it. I just don't like the actual pickle.
I want to know the mix.
Looks like we have an Oregon person watching the show that said Oregon will probably hire Will Stein.
Just promote him. Yeah,
I
can see that.
Who's Will Stein?
He's their OC, isn't he?
Yeah, okay.
Or is he not?
I'm not 100% sure. Dugout Reb says Washington coach is one you need to watch, which I agree. DeBoer is fantastic.
Yeah, DeBoer would be a home run. I just don't think DeBoer. It's not going to get to DeBoer. I don't think. I don't know. I think Landon's probably going to be the first offer, maybe.
Yeah, and you have a situation, and everybody's asking about Lane Kiffin and saying all that. It would take a ton of people to say no for Lane Kiffin to be offered the job.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I know there's going to be a lot of speculation, but I think if they get the Lane Kiffin, they've had some no's, and I just don't see that.
Yeah, and you got all the information vacuum of like, we know something happened, and you like we have here. No, this isn't anything about James McDonald. I seen a tweet somewhere that said Lane Kiffin just landed in Tuscaloosa. No, he didn't. And if he did, he's there to see Nick Saban. He's not interviewing for the job because Alabama is probably pretty far in this process. I think all of this was orchestrated. And this is what I think happened. Okay. Nick Saban, whenever they lost to Michigan, said, "Hey, I'm done." And the guy said, "Okay, I'll let you know whenever I have my ducks in a row and we can announce it and start the ball rolling." Once they got about 10 days out, that happened. And they announced that, but this process has been well underway. I've heard rumor from the next round on Twitter that Dan Lanning is either expected in Tuscaloosa today or he already was there. And I don't know if I believe it because of the information vacuum, but it just kind of is what it is. And, you can just see exactly how this is going to go, but you're going to see rumors and innuendo and all of this stuff because this is the fact of the matter. Ole Miss fans are scared to death they're going to lose Lane Kiffin, which they should. He's the best coach they've had since Johnny Vaught, whose name is on the stadium. And LSU and Mississippi State and all the neighboring schools want to rag the Ole Miss fans and get that little troll worry that he might leave. None of it might be true, but if they get that reaction out of you, that's all they want to begin with.
Exactly. So what I was going to say is like, you ever notice the trend, and I might just be reading too much into this. I very well could be. So, but the trend of like in this hiring cycle, I've really noticed it much more in this hiring cycle than I've ever noticed it. But like anytime you see a coach that's about to be on the move, their team just looks like they're just distracted. And like they just don't look this anywhere remotely the same or as crisp.
Yeah.
Washington. It looked a little more like they were just nerves.
Michael Penix looked bad, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to say, anybody that talked about like after the Texas game, they were like, Michael Penix should have won the Heisman. See? And then after that, it was like anybody that thought he was better than Jaden Daniels, just delete your account.
Yeah. No,
yeah. I don't think, in any other year, he probably would have won the Heisman. But Jaden Daniels is far and away the best player in college football. But Penix played uncharacteristically bad. I think he's better than what he played in the national championship, obviously. But like something about that game plan just seemed off.
Yeah.
Because like that whole week, like it lends a little bit of truth to what you're saying. Like after the Michigan game, Nick Saban said, "I'm done." And then of course, probably the next day they get in touch with Kalen DeBoer and say, "Hey, we're like legitimately interested in you." And he probably was distracted by that all week and just couldn't focus. Like you saw that with like, you saw that. I mean, I'm going to use a really, really low example here, but like New Mexico State was just tearing the world up. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their offense looked absolutely putrid in the bowl game. The next day, Tim Beck gets hired at Vanderbilt. Like there's a connection there. Right. I'm trying to think of some other examples. So just drawing a blank here, but those are the only two I really could come up with, but there's something to that.
Well, one interesting part of that is like, I think the transfer portal might play a role in that because you have a situation to where it's acceptable now just to quit. And this isn't any judgment on any players entering the portal. It's such a, okay, we're done, move on, or a bowl game doesn't matter, or this game doesn't matter, so it doesn't require a full effort. I think you're starting to see teams that completely lay down more than the other because of that mindset that's kind of permeated sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like it's devaluing bowl games a lot. Like people just don't see them as games that matter anymore. They're more like, unless you're in the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah,
That's pretty sad.
Which, like, I wouldn't mind honestly seeing them increase the field to 16, and then just doing away with bowl games for Power 5 and leaving bowl games for only the G5 FBS.
That's interesting.
Real quick, thinking about it, how much is Caleb Downs about to get paid?
A lot.
Oh my goodness. We're talking about somebody that was Alabama's leading tackler as a true freshman, a punt returner. He's going to end up like safety starting on Texas's safety, or Georgia signs him, something like that, and just he might be like a true $1 million player. I know everybody says that, but yeah, I think Caleb Downs might warrant that type of money moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, he could. Jay Cannon asked, would Dabo Swinney be a good fit? No.
4 years ago.
Yeah. Dabo Swinney,
he's gone.
Hates modern college football, so it'd be a suicide basically decision to begin with. But also, whenever Clemson was really good, everybody forgets, and I guarantee Alabama boosters and that do not forget it. Dabo took the opportunity to dog Alabama and dog Nick Saban, and I guarantee you there's some long memories there.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. But I think the biggest thing is what you said. He's just not adapting to this new atmosphere of college football with the NIL and the portal. So I would be afraid to take him. And someone like Alabama they don't need that distraction.
I wouldn't say they're afraid to take him. They're just probably not interested.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't need that crap. They can give someone better.
James McDonald asked, what happened to Florida State leaving the ACC? LOL. Well, $500 million happened.
Yeah.
But I think what FSU needs to worry about is not leaving the ACC. It's their head coach leaving for Alabama. I think Mike Norvell is a real candidate for the Alabama job.
I forgot about him. You're right. He could be.
Yeah, he's a player in this for sure.
Yeah.
He is a definite player. So hang on to your hats. I saw something where like Norvell goes to Alabama and Prime comes to Florida State.
But what about the guy that burned the Prime jersey?
Yeah, that guy will probably have to unburn it.
Yeah.
If that's possible.
Yeah.
Steve, I like the pullover, man.
You like that? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the Under Armour All-American game this year.
They did, it's clean, man. They like finally like it's not like it's not anything like the uniforms are just too damn loud. But
yeah, they're hideous. They're hideous. That's the reason I got this, because it was simple.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's clean. You know
Do
exactly what it is.
Yeah, do a decent job.
Yeah, there you go. Good style there. Jay's coming to us from Lumberton, Mississippi. So yeah,
got to put the chat up so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Sutter Ledbetter says Corey looks like a young Will Muschamp.
Oh yeah.
I've either gotten Will Muschamp or Kirby Smart all my freaking life, or since those two became prominent figures in college football, I guess I should say. Yeah.
James McDonald says he's seen Deion Sanders popping up a lot. Not for the Alabama job. That's not going to happen.
That'll never happen.
That would be cool though. That would be funny.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
That's why he's not going to get hired. But
yeah,
they would have no clue. That would
be so entertaining though.
Please let that happen.
It feels like Deion Sanders, his ceiling would be kind of, what's the word? Maybe Auburn would be the ceiling for Prime.
So basically where he is now.
Yeah, basically.
He's going back to the Big 12 though.
Yeah. With his closest four corners schools.
Mm-hmm. He's going big. I don't know if it's a better conference at this point, but than the Pac-12 was, but I think it's slightly better.
Not without Texas and Oklahoma, it's not.
Nah, true.
Yeah.
Actually, the Pac-12 was better because they had
Arizona going over is the best of the group, and then's probably Utah.
Utah.
Honestly, would number 3 be the top rated Big 12 legacy school?
Who would that be?
Maybe Oklahoma State.
I guess by default, but like you can't really trust them.
Yeah,
Kansas is actually good at football now, so that's a plus. Kansas State's good at football again. Is it? Oh God! Like okay, so now we're saying ACC versus Big 12. Like who's battling for number 3?
Let's see.
Because
I think the ACC has Florida State, who's better than any team in the Big 12.
And then
but after that, the drop off is pretty severe to where like Clemson's the number 2. So maybe the Big 12 be the better conference because of Arizona and because of Utah.
You got Arizona, you got Utah, Kansas State. I'm trying to think of who all was ranked. Kansas State, Kansas, I think finished the year
Utah.
Ranked Utah. I think I said Utah. Utah.
Not Arizona. Utah. What am I trying to say?
Iowa State.
Kansas State, Kansas. Oklahoma State, maybe?
Yeah, Oklahoma State. Yeah. Yeah, I think Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State probably end up being the best after it's all said and done. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be like Oklahoma State versus Kansas State every year.
I don't. I think Arizona's about to dog walk that league next year.
That would be awesome if they could.
Yeah.
I think UCF is going to have something to say about it too because they got KJ Jefferson coming into town.
Yeah.
And welcome to Big 12 After Dark.
Let's see. All right. We got some more comments. Sutter Ledbetter. Dan Lanning goes to Bama. Do y'all expect Gabriel to follow him? No. I don't see that happening. James
How does that
McDonald,
work though? Wait. Just real quick. How does that work? If a coach leaves, like if Dan Lanning leaves Oregon and comes to Alabama, all the players on his team have a chance to jump in the portal, even if they've already done it?
But it'd be a difficult situation. I don't know if he's going there to be with Dan Lanning. I think he was going there to be with the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. He was going there to be closer to home, I guess, too.
Yeah.
It was more than just Dan Lanning, which is even more important to get Glenn Schumann.
Although it might be a situation where Dylan Gabriel really wanted to go there because his hero in high school was Tua. So.
I don't know.
Could be.
I think with Logan Diggs, Lane is hoping for healing time before conference play starts. I think he's hoping for healing time in the last 4 games, and then he can play in the playoffs without burning a red shirt, so you get an extra year of eligibility. I think Lane's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. You get him for 4 games after the ACL, and then in the playoffs, it's not going to count. You can get your red shirt anyway.
Okay, we haven't talked about Logan Diggs. I did see that y'all picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's injured though. I take it as what's happening there.
Yeah, he tore his ACL in the ball game.
In the bowl game. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
poor kid.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not really a poster child for ending opt-outs when that happens.
Yeah.
Another one that says, will Gabriel follow Lanning to Alabama? I do not think so. Jay Cannon says Lane Kiffin could retire in Oxford. Ben Hall
retiring tomorrow.
If Kiffin makes a deep run or a national championship next year, he may be the guy after the guy, especially if he picks off a few Bama transfers. Kind of scary as an Ole Miss fan. Hotty toddy. Yeah, it's one of those situations I tell Ole Miss fans all the time. Until you see me turning on Lane, don't worry. Until then, just enjoy it. Because
just enjoy it in general. It's going to end at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say by then you'll have gotten a decade out of him. That's
but
good.
by then I would have already turned on Lane, so
yeah.
it'll be fine. So
it's at some point Kirby Smart's going to not be the head coach at UGA.
Yeah,
and it just is what, like, if he goes to the Falcons, I mean, it sucks for Georgia because you're losing Kirby Smart, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Kirby Smart went to the Falcons and was there for like 18 months and he decided to go back to college football and ended up at like Tennessee and won?
That would be hilarious. If we got the Nick Saban path, that would be great.
Because that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. But he gave y'all 2 championships first, so he only gave LSU 1. So,
hey, Ole Miss is up by 9 on Florida right now.
And we get Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody on Twitch is like farming for some kind of a view thing on Twitch. I don't know. That's weird.
I want to offer a promotion for your channel.
Yeah,
Jeb, don't click on that.
Oh, okay.
Don't click on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at a way to delete it. Let's see. James McDonald said, Mike Shula's back at Alabama. That'd be priceless. Or why not just mix it up? Like, what is it? Dennis Franchione. Maybe he's available. We need Jake here. Jake would nail this.
Yeah.
All of this. And oh my goodness. Jake is probably one of the biggest Alabama fans I've seen. So today is potentially one of the worst days of his life. But then you also look at it, the birth of his daughter is today.
Forever in history, his daughter's going to be linked to Nick Saban's retirement.
Yeah, I guess Jake's daughter is not going to be named.
You were born the day our dynasty ended.
There's nothing Alabama than that.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be named Nikki.
Yeah. That's a good legacy though. You ended a dynasty. Welcome, honey.
Think about this.
Pay attention to the name because that could hint at who's going to be the next head coach.
Yeah.
If it's Danny,
I feel
Danny,
bad.
yeah.
I feel bad for her because you think it's going to come up that he's at least going to think about it being born on disappointment.
Oh, really? Every birthday it's going to be like, happy birthday, honey. And then he's going to get that faraway look in his eyes.
You remember when we used to be good at football?
Now we're basketball.
And Cassidy is a closet Auburn and Georgia fan to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a closet fan, honestly.
When it comes to Georgia, no, not at all. She'll text me, "Go Dogs" all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely nuts. So I'm excited about what's going on. I do not think it is going to be Lane Kiffin. I think that a lot of people have to say no in this process. Probably more people than will say no for it to get to Lane Kiffin. I think that Dan Lanning is the choice number 1. I think Kalen DeBoer is going to be very high up the list. And I think that Mike Vrabel is there as well. He's kind of the emergency break glass guy in this situation. That's what I think is going on.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised to see him leave the NFL, but he might.
Well, he got like I said, once you get fired and that paycheck goes away, and with Bill Belichick supposedly about to get fired.
They just recycle you in the NFL.
Yeah, and he was a highly thought of coach in the NFL. I think he's going to get rehired pretty fast somewhere. Now, it could be Alabama. I don't know. I'm just saying he'll go somewhere. He's not going to be able to work long. There was a lot of people upset about that. A lot of people that understood. It just depends. Which, by the way, okay, now that you mentioned different coaches, I was thinking about this. I saw somewhere where somebody was talking about this. They were talking about buyouts for coaches. But with Lane Kiffin, they didn't know. Does Lane Kiffin have like a secret buyout? What's going on there?
Oh, it's not advertised, but it is. It's over 8 figures.
Yeah, I would think.
So, yeah.
So
whenever he signed the deal that got him to where he is now, the buyout went up considerably.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. I just found it funny that they knew other people's buyouts, but nobody seemed to know what his is. So he just keeps itself private. I get it.
Let's see. James McDonald said, I had an Alabama coach help me on side the road a few years back. I didn't know it at the time. It looked like Pete Golding. Hey, good for Pete.
No.
Pete. Hopefully he didn't think you were a co-ed. He definitely would have helped you then. Yeah. So, Nick Saban. Kind of, well, we're going to talk about some look ahead for 2024 surprises. Well, now that Nick Saban's out of the mix.
Daniel Parker, did y'all get into the XFL this past season? Anxious to see how the new merge goes. I'm a big USFL fan. I love the brands. I think that eventually they're going to be really high up. The Birmingham Stallions, the Memphis Showboats. I'm pretty excited about what can happen there. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have some spring football. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, I'm not like a super fan, but I do watch it when it comes on. I got into like the DC Defenders a little bit last year for some reason.
Jordan Tamu.
Yeah.
Ben Hall says, I think you're sleeping on Dabo a little bit. Bama and Georgia has had 5-star freshmen begging to come there. Yeah, that's great, but I just know that Dabo took shots at Alabama at Clemson whenever they were beating and winning national championships. And I know that Alabama fans have a long memory when it comes to that.
Dabo will have to change his stance on NIL if he wants to go to Bama. Let's be real about that.
Pat 0311, bring James Franklin to Bama. I'll take that any day of the week.
Jake's not here. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. I like it.
And who's y'all sleeper for the 12th spot in the playoff? I'm assuming
Vandy.
Yeah, it's not 12th in the SEC.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mississippi State.
Let's see. The 12th.
Y'all sleep on Jeff.
Maybe LSU. I like Garrett Nussmeier and being more competent defensively. We'll see what they can do at the running back position, but they're going to have athletes, so it wouldn't surprise me if they snuck in at the 12th spot.
I don't think they're going to sneak in at the 12th spot. I think half the field's going to be SEC, and none of them are going to be the 12th seed. I think it's going to be. I think the 12th seed will be like Wisconsin.
All right. Justin Bailey from Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles says, my Bama friends say absolutely no to James Franklin because he gets outcoached too much.
That's why I said absolutely so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we're all on board.
In case you're wondering.
Michael Specs, I love the USFL because it's all we have in the spring.
Yeah, it's better than having nothing. That's for sure.
Daniel Parker says, I found it more interesting than what Taylor Swift was up to at every NFL game. You're probably right there.
You're not a Swiftie?
I mean,
if how soon does Saban's replacement get fired? It's a situation similar to Ray Perkins. It always happens. I told
you. I already said, and I hope somebody from Bama is listening. I already said that I would jump on that grenade.
I will be that sacrificial lamb.
I will do it. Just give me $2 million.
Whoever comes after me will look so good.
Oh, he asked me if I was an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan. I said I like Ole Miss. Kind of caught me off guard when he said he coached for Alabama.
I said Alabama sucks. Anyway, then you left there.
You heard it here first. Tommy Tuberville to Bama, Oxford, Mississippi.
Tommy Tuberville. God.
He's gonna leave his Senate seat.
Pat 0311, exactly why James Franklin is a great pick. Probably still crying from the Peach Bowl. Man, he got blasted in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I'm liking this basketball game so far. Ole Miss basketball is looking pretty good tonight. I knew they would come out and play well, but Florida's a good team, and Ole Miss is more than holding their own tonight.
Georgia's playing some good basketball.
Yeah.
By the way, Georgia's good at basketball.
And Tennessee got beat by Mississippi State.
Yeah, that was sad. They had a bad game tonight. It's the first real bad game I've seen this season from them.
And Vandy, the other team I covered, is a mess. If you listen to my show, I kind of break it down. Steve, I couldn't, I tried I tried being super positive. It's hard when
Yeah.
it comes to Vanderbilt basketball.
It is hard to do my job. Anybody that tries to do what I do is going to struggle because it's hard. This amount of positivity just does not happen.
Now, I think I succeeded. I think I pointed out every positive thing, and I was solutions oriented, which was good. But if you listen to my show, if Vandy fixes their shooting, their rebounding, their perimeter defense, and their overall communication, their sub patterns, and their coach not getting a technical after big momentum gaining defensive stop, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
so you're like Ole Miss basketball last year. Got you.
Mm-hmm. We have like one really good player, two that are good, and the rest are nah.
Paul Feinbaum is going to be on the SEC Network at halftime of the Ole Miss game talking about the Saban retirement.
All right.
We're going to be the new SEC Network here.
Yeah.
This is all you need.
Just Ole Miss fans need to remember Deion Sanders and Lane Kiffin get clicks. Therefore, people are going to put them in their stories because they want more clicks.
Clicks. Love your show, Steven. The interaction and love for Ole Miss is amazing. That his love for Ole Miss, that couldn't be a truer statement. I sat next to this guy in Rivals.com in Maryland Farms office complex in Brentwood, Tennessee. And I couldn't think of a better Ole Miss fan than Stephen Willis, and a more perfect host for the Locked On Ole Miss podcast than Steve Willis.
And I cannot think of the perfect Locked On Vandy host either. Oh.
I mean,
y'all are okay.
Could, but
yeah. You're doing a fantastic job over there as well.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You like this V up here behind me, don't you?
You added it. Yeah.
It's a 3D. It's a 3D print.
Okay.
Yeah. Laura got it for me for Christmas. And what you can't see off camera right now that you can usually see in our 4-shot, I've got a little thing that says anchor down. It's like defines anchor down. It's a little frame picture.
Okay.
And then this Nashville painting behind me right there.
Michael Speck says, Stephen ran out of things to say during last basketball season. And that is absolutely factual. It was just, I would come on my show and it was like.
Yeah.
And Michael, I totally get it. I'm going through the same thing. Stack is, I don't get it. Like he's treating it like they're in game 20 of an 82 game NBA season where you don't really care if you lose game 20 or 21 or you don't care if you lose these early games in the NBA. That's what he's doing. Ben Harbaugh I read today, he's the favorite for the Chargers job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
won't ask y'all a question. Let's go Raiders after dark here.
The answer is yes. He's staying at Ole Miss. And unless a lot of people say no to the Alabama job.
Yeah. All right. Raiders after dark. Las Vegas Raiders after dark. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right.
Antonio Pierce. Yay or nay?
I think they should hire Antonio Pierce. I think he's accidentally a better coach than they've had. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been. It's been accidentally finding that.
Maybe since the first iteration of John Gruden.
Yeah.
I kind of like this trend of hiring old players, man. It seems to be working out for a lot of teams. I'm kind of hoping Tennessee goes after Gerard Mayo, to be honest with you.
Well, Pierce has a lot of coaching experience too. Like he's been in the college circuit.
Yeah.
He coached Matt Corral in high school at Long Beach Poly.
Yeah, he was at Long Beach Poly for a while. Uh-huh. He's coached at all different levels. Like he understands like the teaching that you have to do at high school. Like he gets it, right?
Yeah.
As far as the Titans go, if they hire another defensive coach, then why the hell did you just fire Vrabel? Yeah, like that makes no sense.
There's so many rumors coming out about that. There's no telling, but it felt like it was just more of him and management not getting along or not having the same vision of where they wanted to go, that kind of thing. I don't think it was because they thought he was doing a bad job. Because, like I said, he's high regard around the league, man. He was a good coach.
You fire him. If you fire him for Dan Quinn, you're getting That would be a downgrade.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Major downgrade.
Yeah, the only problem I had with Vrabel at all, and the only reason I was mad at him, I didn't want him fired for it, but he will not hire an offensive coordinator. I don't know why. He would only hire his friends, like his tight end coach or running back coach or something. Like he wouldn't go out and get somebody since Arthur Smith left. He's refused to hire somebody to replace him.
It's the Patriot way.
Yeah. But it drove me nuts. I hated that. But that was I wouldn't think he got
downfall.
fired.
I think that was his downfall.
Yeah, if he had hired a real offensive coordinator, I think he'd still be here.
I think you go after an offensive guy. If you're the Titans, you have to.
I could see that. And you got Will Levis. Yeah, Will Levis there.
You probably got Will Smith too. But,
Yes.
Ben Johnson,
where Will Smith came from.
Slovic, Bobby Slovic would be a good hire.
Bobby Slovic would be good.
I think if you go defense, like I think the only defensive guy in this year's crop that I would hire is Steve Wilkes. Or for some reason the Raiders are stupid and they don't hire Antonio Pierce, I would go after him maybe.
Yeah.
Bama recruiting 24/7. I think that might be a like Twitter troll type account. But they're saying they hear head coach announcement tomorrow. I don't know if that's the case, but I did hear from the last round that Dan Lanning was either due in Tuscaloosa or was already in Tuscaloosa today.
They've got it zeroed in. It's Dan Lanning followed by Kalen DeBoer.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if it's very soon. But maybe tomorrow's a little too soon.
They're probably going to talk to DeBoer very soon since he's fresh off the natty.
And they got to get the whole contract worked out and everything. It might be a few days, but it won't be long.
They've probably already been kind of talking. They've probably already hashed out numbers theoretically. But they're probably just going to bring those two guys in and see like one more time who's going to be the better fit. And then they're going to hire me.
Yes.
Hold on. I got a playbook ready to go. I just got to change the logo. I got to change the picture on the front. We're ready to go.
We better get some exclusive interviews if you get that job.
All right. Based on this, any chance you want to guess on who UCA is?
Oh, I know exactly who that is.
Jeb?
The University of Central Arkansas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
This was
just guessing.
I borrowed it from him and forgot to give it back, and he never asked for it.
Okay. Nice.
Pretty cool.
And Steve quit.
Yeah.
He said he was tired of you stealing plays and he's out. Oh, no, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got one too.
Oh, that's Cutcliffe. Yeah, I remember looking through that.
Oh,
He want like
that's probably a good one.
One out of the 2 times that I came over to your house, Steve, you shared it with me.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. And this was Mike McIntyre's playbook. This was his coaching playbook when he was at Ole Miss.
Nice.
Cut. I love Cut, man.
Oh, Cut, man. I'd run through a brick wall for Cut.
My playbook is from Madden. I can't show you that right now.
Good job.
It's engage 8 and 4 verticals.
That's right.
That's Jeb's playbook.
Or victory formation dive.
Freaking fantastic. And I love that Dennis Allen, and for lack of a better word, pushed out and apologized for Jameis Winston making that decision to do that, because this is the Falcons. You're supposed to run up the score on the Falcons. And you can't run the score up on professional athletes. It's their job to stop you. It's not your job to take it easy on them.
Steve, if they would have lined up in a regular formation and punched it in, I don't think anyone would have been upset. Maybe Arthur Smith, because he was pissed he was getting fired. But
he still would have been
anyway. No one else would have been upset. It's the fact that they got in victory formation and basically it was like they took the pussy way out.
Yeah, I don't like running a play out of victory formation. I'll admit that. It
was weak. Clark Lee would bring. Hell yeah, Michael. Did you like my breakdown?
Oh,
yeah. They pussed out, dude. Like, run a real play, like a real man. Don't run the stupid like victory formation. We're gonna get you to concede and then knock you back. That's not No.
No, it's an NFL game. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
play
matter.
Football.
No, run a real play, and we'll play football.
Well, don't just give up.
That's universal, Steve.
Yeah.
No.
There's no such thing as running up the score in the NFL. There's not.
The score. I don't give a crap about the score. It's not about the score. It's about the way they did it.
I'm snickering all over. That's the most life I've seen from the Saints in 2 years.
Score. God, if you score it, like if you get in the I formation and bang it in.
You don't understand. The Saints are like me in high school. There's no scoring.
I love it. Were you a teenage dirtbag?
Kind of.
You get the reference? You
You
in high school? I think that song came out with you. You like that?
Yeah.
We got to talk about this.
Uh-oh.
Michael. Love it.
I mean, yeah.
So, Michael, you saw my breakdown. You like my play. I broke it down. I don't know, Steve, if you have time to watch any of my stuff, but like every Friday I call it Scheme Friday, and I break down stuff. I give you diagrams because I'm not allowed to use video. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I diagrammed a 6-man pressure that Clark Lee brought against USC in 2019 as defense coordinator at Notre Dame, and use that as a reason why he's bringing explosive defense back to Vanderbilt. If it can work for Matt Eberflus and the Bears with him taking over the defense and actually having a competent defense, it can work for Clark Lee.
Samuel Keddy, yes, I am the only Ole Miss fan. Normally it's an Ole Miss fan, a Tennessee fan, a Georgia/Vandy fan, and an Alabama fan on this show.
But the Alabama fan is out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Legitimate reasons.
I like Ole Miss. I like Lane Kiffin. I'm not a fan, but I like them.
I like Ole Miss.
Hmm.
Lane Kiffin could kiss my ass. No, sorry. Yes. He's fine. He's fine.
It's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay.
All right.
I'm okay. It's fine.
So just out of curiosity's sake, what was look ahead to 2024 for surprises?
Oh, what's
surprise? Nick Saban's retiring.
Yeah, really.
What is the way too early rankings right now? Like with the new Texas and Oklahoma coming into the league, who's the favorite right now? I guess it would have to be Georgia. Then you have Texas. Alabama probably isn't even potentially a top 12 possibility after what's about to happen to their roster.
If they get Dan Lanning, I don't think anything happens to their roster really.
Oh, you still have 30 seconds to recruit them and pick them apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Caleb Downs will not. I don't think Caleb Downs will be playing for Alabama next year.
I think it's. Do you think it's Texas?
Yeah, Texas, A&M, one of the money schools. He might be at USC for all I know.
That'd be.
But, yeah.
I mean, Georgia was high up on the list. I know Kirby Smart's probably calling him.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, we got a Lane Kiffin tweet warning. Let's see. What did you say? Oh yeah, he's tweeting about commitments.
Oh
yeah. Lane Kiffin's good. Jeb, did you throw a golf ball at Kiffin?
If I had been there, I threw the golf ball at my TV, which turned out was a mistake. But I will admit,
it cost you about $150, right?
Yep. Yes. Pat's talking about my talk to your cat about gun safety book that I have behind me.
That book is phenomenal, dude. I love it. Look, hold on. I'm gonna move my head for a second. Nope, other way. See that book?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How they made Caddyshack.
Oh.
Caddyshack's such a good movie. Oh. I'm not going to move my camera around, but I got Caddyshack on the shelf behind me.
When are you going to do a podcast about Caddyshack?
Should start the podcast, shouldn't I?
That would be a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll try recording some of that this weekend, just see how it turns out. I'm not saying I'm going to put it up, but I'll see how it turns out.
So since we got 55 viewers in the live feed, let's tell the viewers after dark, after season plan, postseason plan, or off season plan. Really, when I say off season, I mean off football season plan. What are we going to watch and react to? Do we want to go like sports movie? Steve, blink twice if you're still alive. Are we going to go sports movie? Are we going to go action? Or like, are we waiting for a reboot? Are we waiting for season 2 of 1923 to continue that? Which, if season 2 does come out, we're definitely going to.
I was going to say, I want to do it when it's out, but I don't know if waiting on it's a good idea because who knows when that'll be.
Says, do I need to talk to my cat about gun safety? The first question many of you will be asking is, do I really need to teach my cat about gun safety? The answer is an unequivocal yes. The Constitution of the United States of America guarantees us the right to own and operate firearms. Yeah, it's real.
So book club, I presume? Because we're just doing book club. All right. Book club. Gotcha. Now, what this passage actually means is Dabo Swinney to Bama. That's what it means. That's what it means. You heard it here first.
One of my favorite things.
It's written in a book, for Christ's sake. So it's like he was like a future fortune teller, psychic.
Oh, Lane Kiffin just tweeted, by the way. That says the two GOATs, so honored and blessed to have learned from them and won national championships with both. Thanks for taking a chance on me and being an amazing mentor to me. Appreciate both of you more than you'll ever know. Alabama football, Seahawks, greatness may never see.
It is crazy, both of them losing their job the same day.
Yeah. That is nut.
Well, one lost their job and one said, you can have my job.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Either way, they're not coaching football anymore.
Yeah. That's all that. Yeah.
Right now.
Well, yeah.
Right now.
They're both in their 70s.
If we make it to next football season and Nick Saban's not coaching somewhere, I'll believe that he's truly done coaching. He just might be done coaching at Alabama right now.
No, I don't think Nick Saban's going to coach anywhere else. I think it's over. I think Nick Saban's going to go to TV and be a star for 10 years.
He's going to follow that Steve Spurrier plan. He's going to go to the Commanders.
But what he doesn't want to do is follow the Bobby Bowden plan.
No, yeah, that was just cruel.
Yeah, that's what he wants to avoid. He doesn't want to be like Bear Bryant, who 6 months after the Liberty Bowl, he was dead.
He wants to enjoy.
He wants to enjoy being 70 years old, and Florida is a pretty great place for a 70-year-old. It just is. Especially one that's been making $10 million a year for the last 20 years.
Yeah. You've been making a hell of a lot more than that. The Aflac commercial is probably paying him $10 million.
Yeah. And he has all those car dealerships now. The Mercedes place. Dude's printing money at the moment. He can just retire and enjoy himself.
And he will. He's going to go, and then he's going to go to Lake Burton. Drive his boat.
Before we get out of here, the one thing that's interesting to me, the last play call in the unequivocal GOAT's career, nobody will dispute that. The last play call was that whatever that was in overtime of the college football semifinal.
I'll tell you what that was.
It's a botch snap, yeah.
I'll tell you what that was. It was, when I rewatched it, I was like, it's actually not a bad play call because you have quarterback power with a swing RPO, which if it's a good snap, he probably throws it to the back and the back walks in.
But when 40% of the snaps are not good.
Well, even with the snap not good, he should have picked his head up and followed his guard and he would have walked in.
Yeah.
But instead he panicked and ran straight into the ass of the center.
I think you're right. I think Milroe panicked on that one. You're
Milroe
right.
Definitely panicked.
Yeah.
But people say it was a draw. It's not a draw.
It was the last play call of that career. That is the last play call in Nick Saban's career.
It was not a storybook way to end it. I'll give him that.
Or shouldn't I say play call? It was the last play of Nick Saban's career.
Yeah, he definitely didn't call it play.
And honestly, the last 3 or 4 years, Alabama has not been Alabama. Everybody will admit that. They were something else. and they were getting progressively worse. Penalties were happening, whatever. I think it was just driving Nick Saban crazy. And maybe Miss Terry said, it's time to wrap it up. You're done. You got your extra year to try and chase your ring and get your record. Now you're coming home, and we're going to hang out with the grandkids.
And you're right, but he did still end his career with the SEC champion. So, I mean, it's not all downhill or anything. But you're right. They haven't been the same in a while.
No, not at all. But yeah, it's good. I mean, shit. I mean, the guy had such a good run. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I wish he would have beat Michigan, and had a chance because
Corey, you got 2 minutes.
Oh, I got 2 minutes. Okay. All right. So that's going to do it for us here on the SEC After Dark podcast. We didn't make any picks. So congrats. Who ended up winning that thing?
Jeb did. I think, Jeb, did you hit 100?
I hit 100.
Attaboy, Jeb.
Michigan win and get it to me.
Attaboy. Yeah, I picked Washington. Not a good pick. So it was not a good pick. Then it was like, okay, I might actually be right on this. And then it wasn't a good pick after all.
Washington had their chance, man. 1-1.
Oh, God, yeah, it was bad. Anyway, so we are SEC After Dark. Each and every Wednesday, we bring the fun. We thank you for joining us. And if you've been with us every episode,
real quick before we go, a tweet just got put out from John Talty. The Alabama team was told Wednesday that the school hoped to have a replacement in place in the next 72 hours. This is done.
Yeah.
They're working
you're right.
numbers.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what they wanted.
I don't even know if they're working out numbers. They're just working out a way to announce it. This feels done.
Yeah.
It's Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
So
it has to be.
It's got to be Dan Lanning. So with that said, we thank you. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you get your podcast, or right here on the YouTube channel. This is probably the best place to find us. But Stephen Willis, Locked on Ole Miss. We talked about that. Most of you are here because of him. So there you go. Jeb, whenever you start doing your podcast, we'll shout you up. But right now, you're just the third amigo here, in the middle, the man in the middle. After Dark Commentary, I guess you can find you there too. For me, you can find me in a lot of different places. Seasonally, you can find me on the Legal Motion College Football Podcast. Just picked up. I'm in week 5 of the Locked On Vandy podcast, so you can find me there. Bleav In Georgia Dawgs, and that's it. Surprisingly, and you can find Jake. Make sure you guys at Jake Thomas TTS on X. Make sure you go and congratulate him. He's welcoming a baby girl any minute now.
We're all excited about that.
We're definitely excited. That's why he's not here. So you can find him on Tide Talk Live. Him and Stacey Blackwood do a phenomenal job over there. So if you want to be, this is the last thing I'll say, Steve. If you want to be if you want to uphold the reputation as being the most educated conference in all of college football, subscribe to all of our shows. And I mean that. Like, immerse yourself into the other shows and just see what's going on. Like, you don't have to listen to everything from everybody, but like, know enough. Subscribe to them. It's worth your while. So anyway, that's my soapbox. That's my TED Talk. We'll see you back here next week. But until then, go Dogs and anchor down.
Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.